In its third week, Victoria's Anti-Corruption Commission has been hearing from its most anticipated witness, former Labor Minister Adem Somyurek. Today he faced a third day of questioning and was presented with phone intercepts from last year of a conversation with fellow Labor Minister Marlene Kairouz.
Branch stacking, all of that is not against the law. That's not corruption.
It's serious misconduct.
Yes,
evidence of serious misconduct.
Misconduct. You can change your signature every week.
It's as clear as can be, I suggest to you, Mr. Somyurek, that the two of you well knew about the practice of forgery, and that's what you're referring to. Correct?
I mean, if you're going to collude in forgery, I just don't know how she can help me, I can help her with that.
The hearings are part of an inquiry into allegations of corrupt conduct involving Victorian public officers, including members of Parliament.
This inquiry is looking at questions of branch stacking within the Labor Party some years ago, but it's looking at a much more serious question, that is corruption or the misuse of public funds. It's looking at the use of public funds to pay for electoral or ministerial staff to do political work, and it's looking at the misuse of community grants to pay for that work as well.
Melbourne-based lawyer Fiona McLeod has led legal teams at several major commissions of inquiry.
Ministers, whether they're at state or federal level, have two basic obligations. One is to obey the law and the other is to act in the public interest.
I'm about to go to the messages on the screen, Commissioner.
This week, Adem Somyurek admitted members of his taxpayer-funded staff had done factional work.
You've lied on the timesheet, and you know what he's doing. He's fixing member discrepancies in Hang's office. What about that is not corruption, Mr. Somyurek?
Extreme terminology, but yeah, okay.
Mr. Somyurek was sacked from Victoria's Labor Ministry late last year in response to media allegations of his involvement in widespread branch stacking.
Did you ever consider that this branch stacking culture could be viewed or should be viewed as part of the discharge of your public duties?
As we discussed before, I've been, I got initiated into this culture, and it was all sort of intertwined.
On Tuesday, evidence was presented that one Labor staffer was paid for 5 days' work last year, despite not logging into their computer. This phone conversation was intercepted between Adem Somyurek and factional ally Rick Garotti, who was a mayor at the time.
They just need to be very careful. And logging in, I'm not sure if he logs in, that's the thing,
No, he logs in and he does all of that.
Okay.
But are you saying that IBAC could be listening on this call?
Yeah. That's they could be. So we're not. I mean, there's nothing to hide.
Yeah. Well, it's scary, mate. The territory we're in.
Mr. Somyurek, what did you have in mind?
Yeah, absolutely. Just my own office stuff. His work with me.
The state opposition is demanding the Premier front the inquiry after Adem Somyurek told the hearing that Daniel Andrews dismissed concerns over the red shirt scandal, in which taxpayer-funded staff were used for campaigning ahead of the 2014 state election.
I went to the Premier, I said, do you know what John's doing? He said, yes. Words to the effect, well, you're either going to, you're either winning, do you want to win an election or not, basically. That was a predetermined, centralised rort, the gold standard.
The Premier has previously been cleared of any involvement, but faced more questions after Adem Somyurek's evidence.
I'm not getting into a debate or a discussion about evidence that's been led by that witness or any other witnesses. I wouldn't do that if there was a court case on, and I won't be doing it with IBAC, and I've been very consistent about that.
So far, the Premier has not been listed as a witness.
We need to let the Commissioner do his job. He will decide which way this inquiry goes. He will decide who he needs to hear from, and he will decide what happens next.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.